Let's talk a little bit about data types and transforming data. So over here we have state county, and we know that those are FIPS codes. Let's just say that we don't like those as numbers. We think that's actually a numeric variable. Over here you have data type, and you'll see Power Query has support for a lot of different data types. Whole numbers, decimal numbers, percentages, text. I'm going to go ahead and switch that to being a text variable because number doesn't really tell me anything about FIPS code. Florida being 12 doesn't mean it's 12/30th as great as Montana. So we can switch that around. We'll go ahead and replace current. And one thing too is a lot of times in Power Query, if you're getting errors, it's a type error. It tries to guess your data type, and you might not get the right thing. One thing that comes a lot working in healthcare is CPT codes. It will look at a bunch of numbers and then get a HCPCS code with a G, and that will make a mess of it. So when in doubt, just start with text. And now, we've got these. Maybe we'll do some substringing. So let's go ahead and add a column. Let's go ahead and look at some of our options on here. Maybe do an extract, first characters. I'm going to grab the first 2 characters. It's going to go way on over there. By default, it goes at first characters, but maybe I don't like that name. We can just go ahead and do a rename. Something like state FIPS code. You can see it does it. And this is one of those things that's really nice about Power BI is you can actually open up the advanced editor, and you can see it's writing code to do all of this. So you can always reuse this code for something else. If you're really advanced, you can go in and change things, or you can use the guide to help guide you through things. But yeah, type is going to be one of our major things in Power BI, especially if you're coming from SAS, where there's only 2 types, character and numeric. Here you want to spend a little more time thinking about your dates, and especially different types of numerics. If you have something that's a whole number, you want to be a little careful with that. If you might have decimals in there. On the other hand, if it's a whole number, its arithmetic and precision are different. So it's sometimes better to store whole numbers as whole numbers. One example I'll give you is total population's a whole number, but maybe this area, I've got scientific. Those are going to be my functions. What was I say on our data types, though? We've got decimal number, and that actually stores things as, I have to look at this. Yeah, so you just want to think about your decimal number versus your fixed decimal, where if you're working with a currency, you keep those 2 digits. So this is one of the things that's really, really nice about Power BI is you can just go on in. The other thing too is you're looking at this, you can look at your data. You have locations, we have a lot of variables, and our next step is actually going to be going through all of this, and we're going to build a really basic report. Once you get comfortable in Power BI, it is very quick to put together just basic reports. We're going to make a table of our data, and we're going to map our data. So those will be our next steps.